given a little spark of madness.
And here at the Film Spark podcast, we aim to keep that spark alive. Hi, I'm Ebony, the host of the Film Spark podcast, and here is where you can find anything and everything movies. So grab your popcorn and join us on this journey that is the Film Spark podcast. Give us a shot. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Good Pods and more, or follow the socials at film_spark_pod. You know what? Just follow us on everything. Check out the link tree. linktr.ee/filmsparkpod. Find us, follow us, give us a shout. We always want to hear from you. Please be advised deals with some heavy topics and subjects, such as mental health, suicide, sexual assault, and more. Please listen at your own discretion and please seek professional help if you are struggling. Thank you and enjoy the episode.
Good day, everyone. It's Ebony. So glad that you've decided to join me this morning. I have been unwell, as you can hear. I'm quite hoarse, and my voice is not quite normal. It's due to the virus that I have just been dealing with a lot over the last several days, and it's led my voice to sound a bit like a combination of an American redneck and maybe an Irishman and a British chap, and possibly a little bit of Australia as well, but odd virus that I've had. So, these strange viruses that are popping up all over. So it's had a damaging impact on my voice. So I'm so glad that you still was able to join me this morning. Not to mention that I have taken a lot of medication, and therefore my mind is not quite clear. That coming off of about 3 days of partying for my birthday has left me also quite convoluted. And so I just want to go ahead and have that disclaimer at the start that I'm not quite of my normal Ebony mindset as of this morning. So I've been doing a little bit of traveling, and in my travels I have come to some different places. I'm actually recording from an undisclosed location this morning, and it's not your typical sounds that you may hear in the background, because you may hear some donkeys, you may hear a rooster or two, or some chickens even, some other animals. And so just another disclaimer that I'm not in my normal location for recording. Well, as you all know, I don't typically script out what I'm going to say in these episodes. I just have a general idea and then I talk. And so that's the same for today. I don't really have any particular topics lined up, but I am going to focus a little bit on issues I've been dealing with, and those issues, one of which has been insomnia. And just how devastating that insomnia has been to my mindset and how it leaves me exhausted every morning. I typically have to go to Spotify and I listen to some type of uplifting music to get me through the day. And so I like to listen to Green Day. I like to listen to some other upbeat music and just get myself going after a night of not sleeping. And so I'd like to hear what you all think. I'd like to hear, what songs do you listen to that get you up and get you going in the morning? So be sure just to send that out to me on the social medias. All the social medias, I'm on all of them. By the way, I'm just a little bit disenfranchised with social media these days. It can be quite stressful you just follow people. You follow this one, you follow that one, you like this one, you like that one, and you hope that they return the favor. They don't always return the favor, so you sometimes are quite stressed about that. So anyway, that's my pet peeve concerning social media. I won't spend too much time on that this morning. But speaking of media in general, I do typically talk about movies on one of my podcasts. And so I recently saw a replay of the Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman's Australia. So it got me to thinking, as I travel around the country, I guess I have revealed my undisclosed location as being in America. And so as I've traveled around America, I noticed that Americans don't really know much about Australia. So when I typically ask someone what they think of politics in Australia, or even geography in Australia, or even any of the other topics that I would expect them to know something about, they know nothing. Essentially, they think of Australia as Crocodile Dundee. I mean, basically, it's Crocodile Dundee. So that's about what they know concerning Australia, which is quite troubling for me, but I have tried to illuminate them a bit more as I've traveled around the countryside here in America over the last several weeks. I will say they know about the outback, and when I'm traveling, of course, and people hear my accent, then they immediately think, here's a girl from Australia. And so they always ask me, about the typical things like, in Australia, do you have the bloomin' onion? We have the bloomin' onion at the outback. And so those types of questions come up regularly. Of course, they know about kangaroos and koalas and the Sydney Opera House, of course. So there are a few topics that they're familiar with, but I would say most Americans, in my experience here over the recent days, do not know much about Australia at all. Well, I'm quite sure that in the next few days I should be back to normal, get to feeling back to normal, and have my normal voice return, I would hope. And in that time, I just hope that you will continue to support the podcast. I hope that you will like me, that you will click my heart, that you will post me, that you will thumbs up me, that you will download me, that you will stream me all over the internet and on all of your devices, because that's how we get the word out about the podcast. And I just have such serious conversations and such helpful information that I hope all of you will join me in the future. Good day.
When we come home from a long day of teaching kids or laying pipe, we find a long list of responsibilities just waiting for us at home, like wrangling our kids or taking them to their activities, cooking a meal, doing the laundry, or just picking up everyone else's shit.
And how did we decide to use the minute amount of free time that we actually do have? We gave ourselves yet another job and we started a podcast.
We wanted a space where we could talk about the things we love, such as sports, movies, music, and our families.
And we also wanted a place to vent about the things that bother us, like our coworkers, or if our favorite team missed the playoffs in the last game of the season, or if McDonald's decides that they don't have any large lids, even though they're a huge company that should never have that problem. When I think of the dynamic of our podcast, I think of myself as like the tough power forward like Owen Nolan, where you kind of remind me of a speed finesse type player like Patrick Marleau.
I see what you're saying. When I look at our dynamic on the podcast, I see myself like Thierry Henry, smooth like butter on the pitch, ready to score that goal. And I see you like Zinedine Zidane, ready to headbutt any asshole that gets in your way. We talk about these topics and so much more on Level the Playing Field. Check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, like what you heard? Need a bit more Nuggiez in your life? Then come follow us on all our socials. That's at SSNUGGIEZ pod on all socials. Linktree is linktr.ee/SS Nuggiez pod as well. Come listen to us on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, Good Pods and more. Come on over, we always need an extra hug. Listener discretion is advised. This is not for the faint of heart. We deal with all topics, so just be aware. But come on over. You're always welcome.